What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay, coming to you on this Thursday. It's 11 o'clock. We're about an hour early, but I've got a special guest who wanted to come on at this time. I'm super excited. This is a blast from the past. This guy is legendary in all that he does. I'm super excited about him, and I also look at him as a big brother. But before we do, let me always remind you guys, nothing I talk about should ever be considered or deemed financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. My name is James, aka Six8Jay. Again, I'm documenting my journey in the evolution of money. Been around the crypto space since 2017, and I'm welcoming the amazing Crypto for Life family. What's up, guys? I look up, and who do I see? Liz, my sister, hanging out. What's up, sis? Animals in the house. C-Kez. How you doing? Island Stephanie with the most incredible dog I've ever met. One of the most well-behaved dog I've ever met. We had a great time out there in Vegas, guys. Let's get right into the market. Right now, we've got a market cap of $1.9 trillion. Bitcoin right now, huh? Did somebody tell Bitcoin that news about the Bitcoin ETF was not right? I don't know. Right now, it's at 29,581. Ethereum is just under $1,600 at 1563. We've got BNB at 210. XRP coming in at 48 cents. We've got Solana at 24.85. Cardano, a lot of people expect big things out of Cardano. We'll see how that goes. ADA at 24 cents. Dogecoin, 5 cents. Let's see, Matic at 51 cents. We've got Polkadot. You guys know how I feel about Dot. It's at 363. Let's see if we can get a $3 dot, guys. That would be amazing. Chainlink right now is at 735. Shiba, 5 zeros and a 6. AVAX is at 897. We've got XLM at 10 cents. We've got Uniswap at 391. HBAR coming in at 4 cents. Filecoin, 317. ICP 297. Crow, you guys know how undervalued I think Crow is. It's at 5 cents right now. VeChain, will that be the hero of the next bull run? We're going to see. I think there's many of them. Guys, it's at 1 cent right now. Optimism sitting at 118, guys. We've got QNT at 85 and a couple of pennies there. We've got Arbitrum at 77 cents. Near, let's make it clear, at 97 cents. Stack it up, just like Tell Song. We play it each and every day. GRT, Top 10 AI project. If you just Google it right now, you'll see it up there right now. Got a little bag of that. We got Algo at 8 cents. XDC, the OG, at 4 cents. The coin formerly known as EGLD, Multiverse X, is sitting at 23.83. XTZ at 61 cents. And the rest of the market, guys, is pretty much where it was yesterday. So if you guys didn't get a chance, make sure you go check out the incredible stream. For those of you guys who might be new here today, go over to our site, our YouTube channel. It's called Crypto for Life. You can see we just had John Sing on yesterday evening. I went over some things about crypto and setting goals. Guys, there's about, we've been around for about 11 months. There's about 545 videos that you guys can go back and learn everything about this space. This is what we do. But again, let's get right into it, guys. I'm super excited about this guy. Before I bring him on, I got to kind of give you guys a little bit of backstory about him. This guy deals with $1 million properties. He's done millions and millions of dollars in real estate. Extraordinary guy. We met in business, but then he became my brother. So we're gonna bring him up right now. Let's see here. The man, the myth, the legend. My brother Garrett. Garrett, are you there? Let me bring him up right now, guys. You there, Garrett?
Yes, I'm here.
How you doing, sir?
Well, trying to, hopefully I can live up to the reputation you gave me, but thank you for that introduction,
Hey, man.
James.
Hey, man.
Appreciate
Hey,
you.
this is going to be incredible. I'm super excited, man. And let me just start off by saying how much I appreciate you being here. I know you got a lot of things going on. We talked yesterday. You've got some $1 million deals you're doing right now and some things in place. But let's just take it all the way back to the very beginning, because one of the things I like doing on this show is not just highlighting what people are doing. There's a lot of things that's going on right now in our world globally. Some of those things have to do with, war. We won't talk about that. But we'll talk about some of the things that's really hurting this country, which is the real estate market. Rates are real high. We'll get into some of those things here in a little bit. But we go back 10 years, and I want to talk a little bit about that meeting, that relationship, and how we bonded together. So let me first start by saying, I met Garrett, guys. For those of you guys who know, I've been in business for 25 years. A lot of you guys know that. I've had several businesses, played some pro ball, and I was a speaker for 25 years around the world. And one of the places that I did some leadership training, for the better lack of words, was over in Modesto, California. And I remember meeting this real estate guy and sitting down with him. And I thought, the first time I saw that guy, I said, this guy is just super cool. He kind of reminded me of, what's the guy from Miami Vice? Was it Sonny and Crockett? I thought I was going to be Crockett and he was going to be Sonny or something like that. But just a super cool guy, man. We hit it off. We just start talking about business. And again, I was there for some leadership things. He attended that meeting. He was actually a part of it. And got me in front of some folks that we talked to and things like that. But we really just hit it off, and wound up just becoming a really good friend. And even past that business venture and the things that we were doing, we just kind of we have personal conversations. I would go down and see him. I remember one time I stayed a night at his house. Was there before he got married. We were friends before he got married, and then went through that whole experience. So just got a lot of love and respect for this dude. His story is just amazing. His heart is even better. Just one of the best guys I've known, and that's why after all these years, even though we have nothing to do in business anymore, we're still good friends. And every time I see his name on the phone, my eyes light up because I just know he's just that kind of a person. So, Garrett, if you want to just talk a little bit about our relationship and what you thought about the 6'8" guy that walked in your office and started hanging out with you and all that good stuff. So, I give you
Oh,
opportunity.
wow. Where do I start on this? What an introduction. Well, thank you for the kind words, James. Yeah, it's when I met James, I'm always respectful of people, but in being in the real estate market, in business, you just have to really get to know the people. And when I met James, you just have that feeling about people. And then when I heard him speak and some of the things that he was talking about, I knew I needed to get to know this man on two different levels, a personal level and a business level. And I'm very glad I did, because I got to tell you, as much as I thought I knew, he opened up a whole different reality of a world of just personal and development, but also in how to and just in business. And I have taken what I've learned from James and applied it to the real estate business and my business. Not to be braggadocious, but I do work hard. My wife is Brazilian. She says she makes me work hard. So when and James knows that. But when I met James, and I listened to some of the things he said, it just excelled my business. And I was like, I didn't really think it was possible. And it was just, and I'm very thankful on that. But we got to, meet our families and everything else. And I just got all the world respect for James. Got to tell you, we could go on and on and on this.
Hey man, I appreciate you, brother, and your words mean the world. I mean, you have a beautiful family, and your son is just
Thank
a
you.
gorgeous young man. I know he's playing football now. Last time I
Yeah.
saw him, I was like picking him up, giving him like a piggyback ride. Now this dude's out there, hitting people in pads. So that's just crazy.
You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. So just a amazing family, and to me it was one of the we were friends before that, and to me it was just one of the greatest blessings I think that ever happened to you, because I know that was you had all this success, you had all these things that you were doing in life. Me and you connected. We would have heart to heart talks about health, about life, about
Yep.
leadership, about mindset, all the things that I was trying to teach you, and you
Yep.
absorbed everything and applied it. But the one thing that me and you always talked about, and we talked about it before you got married, the piece of the puzzle that was missing was your soulmate, and you found that. And I was just happy. I was just happy to be a part of that and to see that
Yep.
happen. So, man,
Thank you.
kudos to that, brother, and kudos to, because I can see you smile different, you look different, you're looking younger. That's what having an extraordinary family would do for you. So I'm really excited for you. So with that being said, man, what have you been doing since in the real estate game? I know you just bought a property with like multiple homes on. I mean, like what have you been doing in the real estate market before we even get into where the market's at?
Yeah. Yeah.
What have you been doing personally? Because I know you're working on some major deals. Again, there's been some years since I've retired from the industry of speaking, probably about 6 years, but
Yeah.
we've always stayed connected. And every time I talk to you, you've got some major deals. I'm doing this, 1 point something, 20 acres. Just talk about some of the projects you're working on right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate the opportunity. Basically, with the market, it's unfortunate because a lot of realtors, they just start hearing the negative and they follow the negative.
Got you.
And this is actually one of the things that you talked about. When you hear the negative, still stay with the positive.
That's right.
And that's one of the things that I've always done. And I'm kind of like that anyway. I'm pretty optimistic about things. But after when we had talked about things, why be negative? Because it's only going to bring negative things.
That's right.
And I just kept doing what I was doing, but even more so. So I work with a lot of expired, withdrawn, and canceled, and I just up my ante. And when I go over and I meet the people, I tell them the reality of the market and I tell them the truth. And I get the number one thing they say, about selling. When's a good time to sell? Well, the honest answer is when you're ready.
When you're
Because if you're not ready, don't sell. And it just works when you're honest with people
That's
and they
right.
see you have integrity. It just goes a million miles.
Right,
And
right.
but that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing the basic things, and I'm staying focused. I'm not into a lot of the other things that other realtors are doing. That's really not producing anything. It's just back to basics.
So let me ask you this: you've been in the industry for, I understand, a long time. This is like something you know like the back of your hand. How long have you been in this industry, in
Not
empowerment?
yeah, 2005.
Oh my gosh! So you've been in it for a while, and so I would imagine that obviously you've built a great, database full of people, and people know you, and you probably get a lot of referrals and stuff like that. And the fact that you're, you're a straight shooter, amazing guy. Now here's my question for you, Garrett. Today, right? Today,
Mhm.
what can you tell viewers today, because there's a lot of people who are frustrated. There's a lot of people who,
Yeah.
for an example, I just sold my place here in Sonoma County. I'm sorry, I just told you I'm going back to Vegas,
Yeah.
and I was very fortunate to sell my place because the lady who bought it was able to get. She was able to assume the loan that we had on this place, which was through a family member. It was a VA loan, so she was
Right.
able to get 2 point something percent rate transferred to her. Right now,
Right.
you can't get that. I mean, the rates are just way too high. Something that a person would probably pay 3,000 a month, they're paying 5 or 6,000 a month. So how are you dealing with that when you run into people who want to get their home for the first time or want to buy a home, whatever, and those rates are just ridiculous? What are you saying to those people?
Yeah, no, that's the number one question about the rates, because people that sell, they have to buy. So one of the things that we talk about is you can always assume the loans. That's one option they can do.
Okay.
But another thing that I bring up to clients, like I went on a listing yesterday, he had about over 200 acres, is owner carry financing on the
Mm,
table.
yeah.
And he said, I said, you've been on the market for a year, and he's
Wow.
actually priced right. But right now, when these orchards and walnuts are just not really producing like they should, and
That's
there's a
right.
lot of them out there.
Right.
So, like today, I'm going to give them a resume of exactly what it's going to take to get it marketed, and you just can't put it on the MLS. You're going to have to go to the groups, to all the big egg realtors. You're going to have to talk to them and give them all the stats. But one of the things on the table, I told him, if someone comes in, you got a $4.5 million property, and they come in at 4.3, I said, where you can come in and make about 4.8, which
Right.
really perks his interest, is you can own or carry finance it.
That's right.
Right now, these egg loans, you're well over 9%, all the points you have to pay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And, accountants, which you always want to advise your clients to talk to the accountants to make sure they have the blessing as far as tax wise,
Right.
is that they get to maybe charge 7%, maybe with 1 point,
Wow.
and they make a substantial amount of money. So if he finances, he's almost he's a lot of equity. So you have to make sure the client has a lot of equity in the property.
Right.
But if you're financing 7% at 3 million, that's 210,000 a year.
Wow.
Actually over for what it is. So, he just looked at that. He says, man, he goes, you know what? He goes, I'm open to that. He goes, I can afford to do it.
Right.
So that's another thing. But then you have the people that are not in equity. They have to be able to cash out. Well, they could go back to renting. They have,
Mm,
first of all, they're not going to be where they want to be.
right.
Okay. So you have to look at the time of life where they want to be. Is it for their forever home? Some people want to wait. But if you're looking at a normal rate's around 5%.
Right.
So when we're at the sevens right now, 7.5 on houses, it is a little bit higher, but you can refinance later on down the
Right.
road.
Right.
That's one thing. If you go back to renting, you have no tax write off. So overall and everything else,
I see.
it's still much better still to buy
So that's
at
the
the time.
that's the mindset right now. Is like, okay, look, you're gonna get hit a little hard here, but it's not like
Mhm.
you can't refinance down the line.
That's right.
Now, is that something that banks are doing? Because what I'm understanding right now is a lot of people aren't making their mortgages. There's all time high with foreclosures. I mean, so how are banks going out there, or is it just something you foresee maybe in the next? Where do you see the market going in the next 6 to 12 months, especially with the fact that people are talking about recession. They're talking
Right.
about a black swan event for stocks and crypto and everything alike, that the market could just go to
Yep.
crap. So what are you telling people in that scenario? Because doesn't it get to a point where people may be looking at being put in a position where they can't really afford the house, and maybe they. So
Yep.
so how are you looking at that?
Yeah, no, that's perfect scenario. I went out listing last night, and he wants to buy another property, and one of his main concerns is payment. And I said, he says, well, I can afford this. I said, it doesn't matter what you can afford, doesn't matter what you qualify for. It matters where you're comfortable. Because
That's
if you
right.
live to a payment, it
That's right.
doesn't matter if you have the nicest place in the world, you're going to be stressed.
That's right.
And it just makes common sense to be able to do that. But one thing we have to look at in real estate, there's kind of a crystal ball. You look forward, but to look forward, you have to look
Back.
backwards. You
That's
have
right.
to look at the history of real estate.
That's right.
So when you look at 100 years past in real estate and you look at the cycles of how things go, then you pretty much have a pretty good indicator. There's what they call indicators in the industry.
Right.
So number one thing is wherever the rates are. I mean, one time they were at 18% and people will doing owner carry financing, banks, they start to subsidize. But one thing, and I don't get political, this year is coming up is an election
Election.
year.
That's right.
And what happens, whether you're on Democrats or Republicans, what happens? They always want to make sure, all due respect to both sides,
Right.
that look at what we did for you,
Right.
and the rates will drop or they'll be subsidized by
Right.
government. And they'll do things to make it affordable.
Okay.
And one thing we have to remember: real estate is the biggest industry in the world. You can't stop it,
That's
because
right.
if you do, the economy shuts down.
That's right.
And the economy is not going to shut down because it's all predicated on real estate. There's
Right.
been more millionaires and more jobs created through real estate than any other in his, and there,
That's right.
and just look at all the
That makes sense.
the connections to it.
Yeah,
So
no, that makes a lot of sense, and I know what you're talking about with owner care, because I know in Vegas, that was one of the things that the realtor was talking to us about. She was like, look, there's owner care is really big out there in Vegas, and especially right now because like you said, people just aren't buying. Especially if you go out there and get $1 million home. I mean, the type of money you're talking about for your mortgage is ridiculous. One of the things that I also know to be true is sometimes in chaos, we think with chaotic moments like a recession, or with kind of like when we look back at COVID, right? COVID was
right,
horrific, but somehow through COVID, real estate still boomed. I didn't understand that. Like cars were going for way more money. Real estate,
yeah,
we talked to some other agents that we know as well, and they were like, man, we couldn't hold on to houses. Like, especially here in California, they're like, man, everything, houses in California are like gold right now. So kind of talk about what you've seen like in chaotic moments like your COVIDs, or what could possibly be coming up with recession, and how real estate always seems to be that safe haven. Like a lot of people think about gold and silver, but big money people trust putting money into real estate, and that's why it continuously booms, right?
exactly. Well, one of the things that you alluded to, one of the people people are not stagnant. They like to move. The mind's made to think, the body's made to move, the spirit's made to worship. We just have to think, we have to move.
Right.
And when people when they're told no, it's one of the things that I learned from you. When you tell people no about whatever it is in the industry and the things that you were in the past, all of a sudden they want it more. Or
That's right.
you point things out or tell them your story,
Right.
and they find out it's like, wow, they look at themselves and think, you know what, I don't want to be in this position.
Right.
And that's where I'm heading right now. So I'm going to redirect.
Right.
People, they want to make good, sound decisions, but a lot of them, all due respect, don't have that insight or don't have the ability to find the people that can sit down with them and help them one on one.
That's right.
And in the real estate industry, a true professional will sit down with them and they're going to tell them, look, maybe now's not the right time for you. If I have
That's
investment
amazing.
property or things like this, I tell them, go to your tax person. I
Wow.
said, before I sign off on it and take the listing, we got to go to your tax, make sure it's best for you. But let's look at not just the pros and all the great things. Let's look at the other things too, because when you be the devil's advocate, then they know you're being honest and telling them the truth. The real estate market, I mean, back in 2000, back in 81, when if you were in real estate, you were at 18%. And
Right.
people say, my father was a broker. And it's like, how in the world do you survive those type things? People still have, what are you going to do? You're going to rent, you're going to have to live somewhere, or you live back home with mom and dad, which people mostly won't do. But they always usually figure out it's just a time period, it's just a timetable, and things will cycle back normal. They always do. So there's always an optimistic outlook, even though right now we're in a little bit of rough times. Right now we're a couple percent. It's not real big. If you
Right.
get 12, 13%, you're still going to be better off tax wise overall than you are renting.
That makes
So
sense.
and it's going to go back down next year. The indicators are in about 3 or 4 months, it's going to start cycling back down. We're in an election year, so it's going to happen. And they say next year is probably going to be one of the biggest booms in real estate. We have a
Wow.
lot of people that want to move out of California, a ton of them. And I talk to a lot of expireds all the time. They're waiting for rates to come down and they don't think that there's buyers out there. There are droves and droves of buyers out
Right,
there right
right,
now.
right.
And there are banks that do some subsidize and you can do buy down rates. I mean, there's a lot of different options on the table. We just want to make sure people know and understand what the options are. That way they get the information to make the best decision for them. You never sell people. That's one of the things that you've always said. Never sell. Educate, listen, ask. Is it for you? If it is, go forward. If it's not, that's it.
Yeah, I love
Follow
that.
follow up later.
I love that about you, Garrett. And I told my people that are part of my family here with Crypto for Life the same thing. And I just love when people like John quote certain things or you quote certain things. That was one of the biggest things that I used to preach about back in the day and teach is that how do you sell somebody something unless you know it, know that they need it. And that's one of the things that so many people mess up in business is that they're always trying to sell. I always give the analogy, and I know you've heard this 1,000 times from me, of you walk into a car lot and the guy, you walk up and he sees that you're in a nice suit and he says, hey man, come on over here. He starts talking about that convertible Corvette and how you can get all the women and how you can do this and that. And you're like, and he doesn't realize he's offending you. And then all of a sudden you walk out, he never gets a sell because what he didn't realize is that you got a beautiful wife and a kid and other kids. And what you might have needed was that minivan or that SUV. But because he didn't take the time to sit down and ask one of the greatest questions known to man, I say it all the time, it is, how are you, sir? And just stop talking and listen. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more, talk less. If you let people know that you care. People want to know that you care more than they want to know what you know. So when people understand that you care, they'll tell you everything you need. All he had to do is say, sir, how are you? Well, I'm doing great. I'm over here shopping for my family. And automatically, he could have got you exactly into the car or the vehicle that you needed instead of throwing up all over you, talking about, just running off at the mouth, trying to get a quick sale. And that's really what happened back in '08 or whatever it was when the real estate market with the crap. All these realtors were putting people in houses they couldn't afford and all these these different mortgages and all these different things. And that's
Yep.
why a lot of people got ruined. So that's something I always loved about you, Garrett. And I heard you said in the very beginning of the stream is that you sit down and you'll even tell people, hey, I don't want your money. What I want is what's best for you. And that's listening and that's making sure you put people in the right position. That's something I love the fact that you remember that from back in the day when I used to talk about that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huge. That huge. Less is more. You remember that?
Less is more.
Less
That's right.
is more.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. So I mean, so what you're seeing now. So with like, for an example, so you get a lot of these investors from a perspective of a realtor. Are you seeing a lot of these investors get homes to because this is something I heard in Vegas, get homes to like Airbnb and rent out? Is that like what you're typically seeing with your average investor?
Yeah, I have a client up there in by Yosemite and Oakhurst, and she is just humongous in this Airbnb. And they're starting to do some restrictions in areas
Okay.
because everyone started doing it. So it's Airbnb. When investors have to invest because when they get with their tax, the market really doesn't matter because if they don't invest, they lose all this money, or it's 1031 exchange, or they say, look, if you don't buy this and have this tax write off, you're going to be paying Uncle Sam. So you can either
Gotcha.
buy a home or you can do this. So over the big picture, when the market moves, it moves slowly. It just doesn't jump and crash overnight. So a moving market's about 1% a month. So if you have $1 million home, it's going up 10,000 or it's going down 10,000. Right now, the market's on a lull. It's really not doing much.
Gotcha.
But a lot of people think that their homes are worth more because there's not a lot of homes on the market. Homes are
Mm,
stable all the time,
okay.
and that's why I tell people you have to price it right. The gentleman last night, he had too much high price. I said, if you don't price it, the problem is when the appraiser from the buyer comes in from the bank, he's going to look at the same comps that I'm showing you, and if he doesn't appraise it right, it's going to hinder the loan for the buyer, and they can't buy your property. And then the light went on with it.
Okay.
So when you price it right, it's going to sell, it's going to appraise, and that way they also know, the seller knows that they're going to get maximum amount of money because the appraiser is going to hit it where the comps that I have showed him. And that industry, but real estate overall, it's always good. There's no such thing as a bad market.
Okay.
Just like in the health industry or anything else, there is no bad. It has to be subsidized,
That's right.
otherwise it goes flat, and then we're all in trouble. And it's
Okay.
not going to happen.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Now I have a question for you. I got a lot of amazing people here that love you being on and love your story and showing some love. So I have a question for you. We're obviously in the industry of crypto, and we're a lot of us are positioned to in this next bull run to see some amazing gains. What I would like to ask on behalf of myself and people who, let's say, may come into some big gains, and one of the things that we always talk about is diversifying, not being stuck in one particular thing, right?
Yeah.
If a person was looking to get into real estate,
Mhm.
and would you say, let's say, if I'm a friend, well, I am a friend, but if I'm someone saying, hey, Garrett, I got this money, maybe I got a few $1 million or so, or more than that. I want to get in real estate. Is that a smart move as far as an investor to not only protect but obviously see their money grow over time? What would you tell someone who's looking to get in real estate? Is that a smart move? Because I know like Robert Kiyosaki always talks about the 5 Gs: gold, grub, ground, which is real estate, guns, and then get Bitcoin, which he's a big Bitcoin guy as well. So what would you say to an investor trying to figure out what should I do with all this extra money? Is real estate a good play?
Yeah, well, real estate over the long run will always be a good play. The biggest landowner of a single person is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the biggest conglomerate corporation is McDonald's. They don't
Wow,
rent the land; they always own it. They're the biggest in the world. So, and
wow,
and Arnold Schwarzenegger started buying property, and he owns. It's just endless what he owns. So
wow. I
over
didn't know that.
time, it's like
Wow,
the stock market. It's what you buy it for today doesn't mean anything for tomorrow. All it matters when you sell. So if it's down, you just wait till it goes up. That's the wonderful thing about real estate. You may have to wait a while, but you'll get your money back. But one of the things, and I have a lot of friends that do a lot of diversity. They'll go into the stock market, the crypto. They'll do a lot of different diversity. And I personally think it's always best to diversify. Yes, real estate's a great one, but there's other things and the commodities and stocks and crypto and other type of things. And you have to understand also, which I know you do, there's different types of people. A lot of people, some are very, very conservative. So they want something safe. And so I'll say, I feel good. I don't have stress. And my money doesn't make a lot of money, but it goes up slowly. So when you get something that's more secure, some people gravitate, some people a little more risky, and then some people are extreme. So A, B, C, what's the personality on the disc profile that we're looking at? S, I, A, and things like that. But overall, real estate's always the number one investment. It's always really good, but I would say diversify. Maybe put some here, some there, and I mean the crypto and all the things that are going on right now are enormous.
I
It's
love
going
it.
off the
Yeah.
chart.
Well, that leads into a question that one of my members here have. And before I read Big Watch Dude's question, let me ask you this. I have a question that he wants me to ask. Before I do, one of the things that me and Jeanette are very excited about because we have land with John. We have 5 acres out in Mawapa Valley, Vegas. We got a couple acres in Utah that we're going to develop. And then when the market crashes, I said, okay, let me hold off on that. We just
Mhm.
got a house out in Vegas ourselves, but one of my goals is obviously to even get with you because you're my go-to guy if I decide to do anything like that. And one of the things that I've seen some friends do is build a great passive income by getting rentals, right? So I got friends who've got 10
Mhm.
rentals, 15 rentals, 20
Yep.
rentals. I
Yep.
had one doctor friend of mine had like 80 something rentals. Would
Yep.
you would you for do you think, from a realtor standpoint, that's a great way to create passive income? And not only that, but as a dad of as a father of six, which you're a father now as well, or you've been a father,
Yep. Yep.
would you say that's not only a great passive income, but something that's really great to leave behind to your family? Because that's always been a
Oh,
dream of mine.
yeah, 100%. Because you can't go wrong with real estate. You just can't. And with all the tax ramifications, ownership, part of a community, if something happens, you can have some really bad years. I mean, I'm just talking about to the extreme.
Right.
Foreclosures now are taking years, almost a year and a half, 2 years. So we used to take 6 months. So there's a lot of protection for you. But as far as the investment goes, oh my goodness sakes, there's just the tax write-off and developing the property, the income that you have coming in. I mean, there are just so many different ways to make money. But these apartments, duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, anything plus four goes to commercial. It's just humongous. I
Wow.
mean,
Wow.
and legacy to leave it home. It's the opportunities are just so much endless,
I love it.
and then a lot of the times when you get these people that want to sell. I'm getting ready to take up in Stockton, an area we have about well over 4 million. It's a bunch of buildings, and there's just it's a huge thing that he has portfolio. He's going to own or carry this, so
Mm,
they're going to get the benefit. He'll get more money for the property, number one, and he'll be able to diversify that. But what's going to happen there, if there's people that buy this property, they'll develop it. So
mm,
whatever he's making on it right now, he's not making it to its full potential what it is.
I
So
got
when
you.
I go on the market, I look at the buyer that looks at it, and when I talk with the other agent, I get involved with the buyers. Usually they will allow that. Got to be careful with that, but as long as you get their permission to be able to do that,
Right.
and ask them, what are they going to use it for? Well, then they're going to give you the ideas of what they're going to do. And they might be making 3 times what my guy is currently using for. So it's always what's its highest and best use. There's so many faucets to the real estate
Right.
and industry, but property is always bought for highest and best use, whether it's residential, whether it's commercial,
Right.
whether it's leasing out commercial, whether it's ranches. How does it going to produce? Is it income or
Yeah.
being there with my family and
Yeah.
things like this?
Yeah, you can't lose in real estate. It's funny because
Can't lose.
my mother-in-law
No.
had a RV, right? She got a divorce, and not to put her too much her business out there, but she had an RV out here that she had sitting. A guy had a piece of property, and he used it as a storage, to store RVs. And there's probably, I don't know, 40 or 50 RVs out there that people store for whatever reason. Maybe they can't put them on their street. And I know my mother-in-law was paying, like, I don't know, a couple $100 a month, whatever it was, for storage, and she has been sitting there for almost 3 years. And I'm just thinking, man, if you do that times 40, 50 RVs, that guy's making money off that little lot, that lot that he has. So yeah, you can never go wrong with real estate. But one of the questions I got from my guy, Big Watch Dude, there's quite a few people here in the group. He says, "Hey, 6.8Jay, can you ask Garrett what he thinks about tokenizing real estate, and is there a future in it?" And what they mean by it is that right now, Garrett, I don't know if you're very familiar, or your familiarity with a lot of crypto stuff. But right now, what they're doing is they're talking about, or is happening, where they're allowing people to get in and buy real estate with crypto, and I think that's going to be huge. They're already doing it with Tesla, Honda's doing it. Ferrari just said they accept crypto now. So, do you think that's going to be advantageous for people who are invested in crypto to be out there and be able to go out there and purchase properties and things like that? Or have you even heard about anything like that? Has it not got to you yet?
Yeah, I'm not an expert in that particular, but I have heard about this coming on here because this industry is growing exponentially.
Big
I
time.
mean, it's just everywhere you go,
That's right.
and I've heard about this happening on here. So, and I've heard a lot of things, and it's piqued my curiosity. I haven't involved in it, so I really can't speak on it, to be
Right.
quite frank with you on there.
Right.
But the ears have been ringing, and it's been crossing my mind quite a bit. And I know people are starting to do what you're just talking
Yeah,
about.
it's funny because the realtor that I was looking at in Vegas, I didn't say anything about buying a house with crypto at all. And she called me back after we'd already came back to Sonoma, starting to get ourselves stuff ready to leave. And she had another client who wanted to buy like a multi-million-dollar property with crypto. And her question, I actually got the message. She says, "This guy wants to set up a wallet. Do you know how to do that?" So the buyer, the seller was saying he would accept crypto, or let me see, the seller was saying he would accept crypto, and I don't think the buyer knew how to do all that or something like that. But I was kind of
Yeah.
talking her through the whole process. But I think it's amazing because I love being a part of things before they happen. We've seen that happen in the past, and so I'm really excited about it. And that was a really good question. But yeah, thank you so much, Liz. Let's show some love for Jay and his hard work. Thank you. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Let's see if there's any other questions here for Garrett. People are talking about let's say real estate in Arizona. I don't know. Arizona must be popping. I know California is real hot, and that's what Garrett's been. Do you do anything outside of California? Garrett is primarily in California.
No, the only thing I do is just referrals. I just find someone that knows. In fact, I'm doing one right now on this ranch that I'm selling. They're moving back to Oklahoma, and I will find the real estate that knows the area that just is a professional, and I just do the referral. I'm only
Okay.
allowed to sell in California, so I don't go
Okay.
out of state.
Well, I will say this before we get going. We're about 35 minutes into the show, and I want to make sure I respect your time. But I remember taking my real estate license back in, it might have been '06, '07. I passed the test. I went in. I was like one of the first people that got up after. But, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do because it takes some studying. But here's what I'll tell you. It is one of the most paper intensive, like you're held at a certain standard when you're in real estate. I mean, all your I's got to be dotted, T's and crossed, and people don't realize if
Yeah.
you make a mistake in real estate, you could be in a lot of trouble. So just talk about the importance of making sure when you're an agent. For anybody that ever thought, man, I sure admire Garrett, I would like to do that. Is that a field you would tell people to look into? Is it hard, and does it come with a lot of laws?
Yeah. Well, I look at things a little bit different. I mean, people can look at things as hard or look at things as a challenge, but it's where's the end game that comes in. So when people want to get their real estate license, when they study up for it, and then they'll tell you, okay, now you got your license. What are you going to do? You
Right.
have to learn real estate because you have to learn to be able to market.
Right.
And my sis has come, as you well know, that's why one of the reasons you and I match so well. I am not a salesman. I
Right.
am a professional marketer.
Right.
And the difference between sales is when you're sitting down telling people that you have to, you need to, you should, the market's going to drop. That's fear mongering. That's fear selling.
Right.
People get to turns them off.
Right.
When you sit down with them, especially a 70 or 80-year-old client, and you sit down and you find out what happened with the last realtor that didn't work.
Right.
And you sit down, they're going to believe me, they're going to tell you, and you sit down and you tell them the truth about the market. I just interpret the
I
market.
love it. I love it.
Okay. And then I tell them, like, this is what we do. And I'm not selling you hype. I just present. That's all I do. I tell my story, I present. And for the most part, I mean, you don't get every listing that you're on, but the reason I do well and that I am a professional in the market, and to be totally frank with you, I made all the mistakes when I first got my license, meaning I didn't follow up with people. They said they want 2 million for their 1.5 million home. I didn't educate them
Right.
because I didn't know,
They didn't
and
know.
I wouldn't got a coach.
Right.
That's just like with you. I
Right.
wouldn't got a coach, and I learned where the mistakes were. I mean, I was right there from being a mega producer,
Right.
but I wasn't doing what I needed to do, and I had to learn. So I got over myself and thinking, because I came out of the Fox TV, I was, in the TV industry.
Okay.
And when I got out of the marketing, I thought, I didn't sell a home for 8 months. And I thought, and then it's the average person doesn't sell for 8 months. There's a natural turnover rate of 90, I think it's 92% that they have. So, and right now, 60,000 realtors have dropped out, and the market's
Wow.
starting to really pick up again.
Wow.
So, if someone comes in, my advice would be very simple. When you take your test, you position yourself to say, okay, when I get up in the morning, I'm going to plan my day, and then you execute the plan. It's very, very simple. And when you talk with people, if you're talking with someone and you're engaged in making a sell, a referral, a friend, if you're not talking to somebody, you are unemployed.
Mm.
That's just what it is in real estate. Don't push, don't shove, follow up, present, give them the facts. And majority of the people, the ones that you want anyway, because some of them you don't want as clients, all
That's
due
right.
respect, is they're going to be workable. And that
Right.
way, when you fix everything up front and present, then you don't have problems later on down the road of having to overcome. And I know this is one of the big things that you do.
Right, right. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. I got someone saying if they can get your contact, they may be looking for a beachfront property here in California. Yeah, I'll Big Watch, you can message me, and I'll pass you over Garrett's number for that as well, brother.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. By all means. So, one of the things I wanted to ask when you were talking about real estate and things like that, I had a question, and I just got messed up by looking over here at at that question. We were just talking. You were just touching on what right now?
Well, when we talked about people getting their license, should they get
Okay,
into the real estate and how to present?
that's what I want to tell you is that I know when I got my license, I literally got it to help family and friends, right? I was like, okay, well, and at the time, John owned a real estate company, so I
Yeah,
said, yeah, it'd be fun. Why not? So I went out
very
and took it,
common.
but the thing that I didn't pay attention to is that you got to stay on top of your license. You got to renew it and things like that. And so
Yeah,
I never went back to do that. Once I passed it and I got the little card and everything, I was like, okay, that's cool. It was just something I guess another challenge like acting or being in movies or being a speaker or owning a business. I just wanted to know that I could do it. And because
yeah.
I heard of people failing the test 2 or 3 times, I've heard of people failing the test 10 times. And I literally, when I got up out of the room, I was the second person out of the room. I thought I did something wrong, but I passed it with flying colors. It's just you got to be a good
Yep.
student and learn it, but you definitely got to make sure you renew it. Right? How often do you have to renew your license if you do have a real estate license?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Okay.
Every
Wow.
4 years you have to
Wow.
renew your license. Right,
Wow.
right.
Now,
So once you get your license, it's just a license to print money. The sky's the limit.
right.
So when I say that, and being that 92, 93% fall out in the first year, most of your realtors that have license, they might sell one a year. It's just like you
Mm,
say, it's to a friend, it's to a family.
right.
But there's probably it used to be the 80-20 rule. Now it's probably about the 10 to 90.
Wow.
10% of the realtors sell 90% of the property and vice versa.
Wow.
That's pretty much how it is. But when you get a system and you organize and you have a structure system, because I have a team, I have a transaction coordinator, and so then I have the people in my escrow, then you have your people that on your team team that are buyer's agents, seller's agents, and then you have your inspections. So all lined up. It takes, they say, about a year. If someone's really on top of the game, they can do it sooner. But you have to know the contracts because you have a fiduciary duty to be able to protect your client. And that's one of the biggest problems is people try to sell their clients and try to, instead of trying to protect them and educate them, because everyone wants everything for less. And obviously you got to get the most amount, but you have to be fair and ethical to both sides. So I go to the middle where the market's fair for people. And when you educate people and you have a system, it just works because it's kind of like a dome and you're inside and you can help a lot of people and you can make a living for yourself at the same time.
I have a question. Do you have a like a real estate site or something like that people can go to?
Yeah, I do. I
What
do.
is
They
that?
could, well, I could do,
Is
there's
it the one that you sent me earlier?
the email, or you want
No, no,
the
like
W.
you're like a website of yeah, your www.
Yeah, www.
Okay.
www dot
Dot.
GarrettSmithRealty.com. So www.GarrettSmithRealty.com.
Okay. And I'm
Two
gonna
R's, two T's. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Let's see here. Why is my computer being? Okay, there we go. So there you guys go. And I actually have your face up, Garrett, and on the left of you, I have your website. So here you guys go, Garrett Smith, for whoever was asking for that beachfront property in California, big watch dude. There goes his website. You can see his license number. You can see his contact information. I mean, yeah, Garrett is first class all the way. So you can see he has a picture of Modesto up there. But if there's anything that you guys need, any questions you may have, it looks like you have a mobile app as well. So you guys, if you're interested in contacting Garrett or need some help in real estate, remember this is my good friend. So definitely, send the business his way. He would appreciate it, and so will I. Any other question you guys have before I let Garrett go, or anything that you want to add, Garrett, before you take off?
No, I definitely appreciate the opportunity to be here. And for those of you who are thinking about getting to the real estate, just remember there's negative people and there's positive people. You always want to stay on the winner side because if you ever let your mind go to the other side, that's the life you're going to live.
That's right.
And if you live the right side, it's always good. It's never down. And there's just always ways to make things happen. You just stay positive. But it's a pleasure being on your show and definitely appreciate, the opportunity to be in here. Very excited to be here.
Well, I definitely appreciate our friendship and being able to call you my big bro. And it's been
Oh, yeah.
been a great 10 years knowing you and your family, man. And I can't wait to hang out. Me and Janetta looking forward to coming out there and hanging out with you guys once we get settled in and get back out to California. So I appreciate you, my brother. I'll be contacting you again soon. Again, say hello to the wife. Give your son a big hug from Uncle James there, and we'll definitely be talking again soon, brother. Appreciate you.
I sure will. Okay. Thank you, James.
Okay, Garrett. Take care, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, that was Garrett Smith, my brother, the man, the myth, the legend. I hope you guys appreciate having him on the show. Let me go ahead and get back over here. So if you guys have any questions, again, you can see his website, Garrett Smith. Garrett Smith Realty, guys. He operates more so out of California. One of the greatest guys that you'll know. He'll definitely do what's best to help you win, help anybody that you know, friends, family. And again, guys, for those of you guys who just tapped in, one of the things that I talked about doing and one of the things that I came up with was reaching out to people that I knew from a professional level, from different walks of life, whether it was John yesterday, the $1 million mindset, Garrett, who just came on, Smith. You've seen some people in the past that I've brought on as well. We've got John Singh's wife that's going to be coming in talking about health and wellness and also getting your finances right and things like that. So, I'm going to continue to do these things. It won't be like every single day, but I'm definitely reaching out to some friends and people that I know, professional people. And if you guys like that, if you think that's something you guys want to see more of, make sure you leave a comment, hit the like and subscribe, show your love. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let me say share some love with the family here. We got Nesforth in the house. Crypto for Life, amazing guest lately. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. Big Watch Dude. Thanks, 6-8Jay. No, thank you, my man, for your amazing support. Liz, my sis, always with the amazing support. Me and the wife appreciate you in a major, major way, sis. Thank you so much. Let's see. We got... Oh, yeah, you guys got it. So make sure you kind of appreciate your Big Watch Dude. Make sure you send that business to Garrett's way. Anthony Wanner, I set up like 50 wallets for myself. Oh, yeah. But, here's the funny thing, guys. There's a lot of people who just, when that realtor called me, a lot of people, like even with Garrett, a lot of people know what's going on. They're hearing about crypto, but just something as simple, because it's scary. I'm gonna tell you guys, you know about crypto, you may have a wallet, but there are opportunities out there. Like I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't go out there and say be a financial advisor, but there are opportunities out there where you could help people set up. I remember I had an idea a while back, and I'll run this by you, as start my own little, when I first got into crypto, it's kind of what I got overwhelmed once I started helping family and friends, and it turned out to be celebrities and all these different things and things like that. But one of the things that you could actually go out there and do is start your own little business, and not so much financial advice, but let's say you start up a business like Anthony Rand was talking about. It's something I thought about a while back. Is just helping people get started. That's scary. Like maybe a $500 course that you can show people the basics, how to set up a wallet, the best exchanges to go to. And again, this is not financial advice because you're not telling them what to invest in, but just where to go, get information. You can refer them to, you can refer them to Crypto for Life. Say, look, guys, be a part of this family, but this is how you get started for $500. And you help them to get the ABCs out of the way, because it's really scary. Because look, I'd rather spend $500 than go out there and lose $5,000 or $10,000 doing something the wrong way. So that's nothing. And I'm not just talking about setting up a wallet, Anthony. I'm talking about sitting down and just kind of mentoring them on the game, saying like, look, this is what you do. This should be step one. This is how you store your keys. This is the best place to go. Just give them like a little bit of give them a little package of knowledge. And I know a lot of people that come into this space, man. I've had friends that have lost anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 by making mistakes, by not double checking their wallet address, or not doing this and that, or going to a scammy this or and some of that is education. You can send them a bunch of it. Okay, here's what when it comes to anti-fizzing, or be careful not to do this, or don't click on every site. These are things that people just don't know. And I think more and more people would get into crypto if they actually knew that there was some type of service like that. So I think that's amazing. It's very scary, Liz. Like people getting, oh, it's nothing. Well, it's nothing to you, but it's scary. Trust me, man. I tell you, my phone, when me and Jeanette went to Hawaii, everybody and their mother, like I went there, I was specifically helping out a millionaire friend of mine, and then that just led him into saying, hey, this is my friend, and this is my friend, and it's crazy the knowledge, the fact that people don't have the knowledge of the ABC of crypto. And it's really scary, guys, especially when you're hearing all this FUD. And so just to put together this package, where there's a little mentorship, a little a guidance, some videos. Here's the best way to do the wallet. Let me sit, and you can do everything. The crazy thing about it, you can have a global business online. Like you don't got to go sit in anyone's living room. You got all these different platforms like Zoom, and you just offer a service. So it's really a brilliant way to create a business, honestly, because you got to understand. There's a small percentage of people that are in crypto right now. If you look at the world as a whole, the opportunity for something like that is humongous. Think about it. All the people that will be coming into Bitcoin, or crypto, should I say Bitcoin, the crypto space, when there's a Bitcoin ETF. Is what I was thinking fast when my mouth was moving. When Bitcoin ETFs get approved, or Ethereum ETFs get approved, or XRP ETFs get approved, or the market explodes to new highs, and people look up and see $100,000 BTC, or $100 XRP, or $5,000 or dollar Ethereum. I'm telling you, this market is going to go nuts. How do I know? Because we've lived it. It's happened. It's funny because it seems like everyone's scary and things move slow in a bear market when there's chaos. And as soon as things boom, everybody and their mother want to knock on the door, hit your doorbell, ring your phone. What's going on? It's like fear loss. Nobody wants to be a good student because they let fear take them over. They live in the FUD. They come up with every excuse why crypto's not going to work. And when they see that you're panicking, oh, I told you it wasn't going to work, because they want to use you as, like I said before, misery loves company. But as soon as the market booms, and I remember when Bitcoin was at 68,000, 69,000, everybody and their mother was calling me, hitting me up, emails, Facebook, internet, IG. Oh my God, James, I miss it. And then as soon as we go down, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get into it. Go up, I miss it. Go down, I'm glad I didn't get into it. I mean, it's just stupid. So it's a great business for anybody. Hey, that's what we do. Hey, we drop nuggets, guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. My sis Liz, probably laughing at how silly I am. Yes, scary times. Just wanting to download a app. That's right, my brother. I mean, you don't even know half the time if you're downloading the right doggone app, or you go to the internet and someone says, go to MetaMask, and they go www.metamask, and they just put one letter off, and they go create all this, and they transfer money, and they got screwed. I've seen that happen so many times. So to get like a little guidance package of how to get like a get started package and some information on that. You could probably even make a video yourself and go through A through Z, for people. And hey, that could be very advantageous and beneficial to you. And you know what? If it is advantageous and beneficial, hey, you know what? 68Jay should get 10% for the idea. Let me stop. Good Lord. Big Watch Dude, I appreciate you. Anthony Wanner, Liz, my sis, Frankie Legend, my brother. What's up, Frank? Frankie Legend in the house. Marvin Davis. Bomb Info J. Thank you, my brother from another mother. See, I tell you, I can't call you my brother. That just sounds too fake. You're my brother. No. You my brother. That's your homeboy. You my brother. Good Lord. Love you guys. We got Les Force in the house. We got Big Watch Dude. We got Anthony Wanner. Very easy hydroponics. Allen's in the house. Tony Baggs, the man, the myth, the legend. Bullish Big D. Great stream. Appreciate you, my brother. I'm telling you guys, Beekeeper69, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys. I got the best family in the world. I got the best family in the world. Authentic, amazing people. No scammy people, no shilling people, no haters. I'd rather keep it tight and right. I love it. I love it. You guys make my day each and every day. Anthony, or should I say, Animo. Animo. Remember Animo from the mother? Animo's crazy. My brother Animal's in the house. Big Bro 10's in the house. I get everybody here. Let me make sure I shout everybody out. Island Ghost Stephanie with the Wonder Dog, huh? You sure your dog wasn't a double and a super dog, huh? Just saying. Great dog. CK's in the house. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Guys, we're going to keep this thing going. Shane Sullivan's in the house. Tomorrow what is tomorrow? Friday. So Friday I'll be on. I might have Chris Moore here. I'm not sure yet, guys, but I know next Tuesday we'll be having Veronica sing the 24th at 11 a.m. Looking forward to that. Guys, I appreciate your support. Much love to each and every one of you guys. Be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. I got to go out here and start packing and doing some stuff like that. We'll see you guys mañana. It's your boy James, a.k.a. 68Jay. Until next time, much love. Crypto for life. Peace.